What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new show that premiered on last night. It's titled Family Empire Houston, you guys. So this is season one, episode one, and this episode is titled Meet the Bradens, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss Family Empire Houston, shall we? All right, guys. So when I found out about this show, I was like, you know what? They in Houston, and even though I'm in Dallas, but they're in Houston, so it's still Texas. So they still family, and we gonna rock and roll with this show, you guys. So far for episode one, I like what I saw. Hopefully, with this show, I'm hoping that it doesn't go the route of some of the other Carlos King production shows. I hope that this family is able to stay intact because they seem like a close knit family, and I hope that they're able to keep that together. So what I'll do is on the screen is I'll put the family tree up so that way you guys can see who just see the family, right? So we have the head of the family who is Oscarine and her husband Frank, right? So then we go down to the G1s. And so with the G1s, you have her children. Now, I don't know if we saw this woman in the episode, but I can't pronounce her name, so I'll spell it Zena. I think that's what it is. Zena. Then you have Frank Jr. and his wife, Joy. I believe that's his wife. Then you have Charlotte, you have Cheryl, and you have Aunt Nikki. So we saw Aunt Nikki quite a bit in this episode. And then you have Jackie. So then from there, you have the G2s. Oh, okay. I think I know who Xena is. So we'll go, like I said, we'll stick with this family tree. So from the G2s, you have Lakeisha, who is Xena and Frank Jr.'s daughter, right? So we'll talk about Xena in a little bit. Then you have Monet and Nicole, who are Frank's children with Joy. And then you have Nicole, who her husband is Larry. And then Nicole and so after that you have which I don't think we saw her in this episode, but I did see her at the photo shoot. So we have Charlotte's daughter, who is Brooklyn. Then you have Nikki. Her kids are, I believe, his name is Cody and Ryan. And then you move over to Jackie. So her kids are Quita, and Jermisha and James, which I don't think we saw James in this episode, but I'm pretty sure we'll see him. So Quita's husband is Chris, and Jermisha's husband is Justin. So, like I said, if you guys are looking at the family tree, you can see them all. And so then we have the G3s, which are, the G2's kids. So Lakeisha has a son, I believe his name is Tavion. Then Monet has a daughter, I think her name is Blake. And Nicole and Larry has a daughter, her name is Layton. And then you have Jaquita. Jaquita has a son named Carter. And then you have Jermisha. She has three kids, Grayson, Harper, and Jackson. So also what I'll do is, because I have individual pictures of the girls, right? So I'm gonna first show you guys Jermisha. So this is Jermisha. Jermisha, to me, when I look at her, she kind of gives me Uzo Aduba. Is that how you pronounce her last name? From Orange is the New Black. That's who I see when I look at her. Then you have Nicole. So, and also going back to Jermisha real quick, Jermisha is the oldest grandchild. So then you have Nicole. Nicole, very beautiful. When I look at Nicole, I kind of see Logan Browning a little bit from Dear White People. I'm not Dear White People, and also from Hit the Floor. If you guys ever watched that on VH1. Then you have Jaquita. Like I said, Jaquita is Jermisha's sister. Then you have Lakeisha, and then you have Monet. So I think that those are the main people that we're going to be following in this season so far, because those are the ones that they really focused on. So let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. So we see that the girls, they own a Braden real estate, which is in Houston, right? They all work together as a family. I've all, for me, when it comes to family, I've never been one to say I want to work with my family. But also the problem with my family is we're just way too big. Like my grandmother had 11 kids. So, and then the great grandchildren, well, the grandchildren, the great grandchildren, it's just a lot of us, right? So my family don't know if it will work, right? So they have a photo shoot that's coming up, and the attire is all black. They also talked about, their earnings in Q1. And like I said, I like the girl. I like the girl so far. I really, really do. And we also find out that the husbands all work for Braden Realty, with the exception of Nicole's husband, Larry. Now they didn't really say what Larry does, but I guess Larry has another job and he doesn't work with them, right? So that's cool. So then we see, as they're all getting together, and it's a big family affair. It's a big Texas thing. One thing us Texans love to do is, baby, we love to eat. And when I saw that photo, I was like, "Ooh!" That's when I fell in love. Like these are my people. These are my people. These are my people. Because, like I said, one thing we love to do down here in Texas is eat. That is one thing we gonna do, baby. So we also found out that their grandmother, Oscarine, she had a stroke, you guys, and so the stroke affected her speech. And I was kind of, because we really didn't see her in the first, we really didn't see her a lot in that first scene that we got, where they were talking about her speech being affected by you know the stroke. But then later in the episode, even in this later in this scene, we didn't see it, and I was like, oh wow, it's crazy how strokes, heart attacks, all that stuff, it really affects people, right? But nothing but prayers and well wishes to Ms. Oscarine. So we also found out that their pawpaw passed away about a year ago, right? Now we get deeper into the family. So, like I said earlier, Jermisha and Jaquita, they have the same mother, right? I'm assuming they all have the same dad. Now, when it comes to Lakeisha, Nicole, and Monet, they're sisters, but they are half sisters. Now, if you guys are from the South, and more specifically from Texas, I was surprised to hear them say half sister, because that is something that I very rarely hear our people say, especially Southern Black people. I very rarely hear them say half sister. You just say that's my sister, right? But what it is Frank Jr., and I heard this in the clip for what's coming up this season, that he had two women pregnant at the same time. So I don't know. I know Lakeisha was one of them kids that was, pregnant. One of those kids, but I don't know if Nicole or Monet is the other one, right? But I think that they said Monet is the youngest. So I'm going to assume that it's Nicole and Lakeisha who are the two that were he was had women pregnant at the same time, right? So they talked about the fact that, like I said, Lakeisha has a different mother from Nicole and Monet. So while we're at this family dinner, they went up to Chris, who is Jermisha's husband, who is also, the videographer, the photographer for them. And, they're asking him, like, when are you going to come back into the office? And he's like, well, I'm not coming back into the office because, Nicole flexed her authority and kicked me out of the office. So Nicole's whole thing is like, nah, I didn't really kick you out. Well, no, I didn't kick you out of the office. What happened is you came into the office and, you're talking to the brokers and joking with them, but they how it sounds is they run a tight ship. And when, you're in the office, it's supposed to be all business, which, I mean, that's with any company, right? Now, what I will say is, I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun, right? You don't want to be at work all day, every day, just serious, serious, serious. Like, find time to interact with people, have a little bit of fun, but know when to say, okay, that's enough. We got to get back to work, right? So that's that. And I was listening to Quita. She was talking about the fact that he wants to feel like she has his back. Now, when it comes down to this, because they all refer to themselves as sister cousins, right? And that is another thing of the South, right? You grow up with your cousins, and your cousins are like your sisters and your brothers, right? Because even with my first cousins, my mom, her baby sister, like my cousins and I, we are as thick as thieves. We're super close, and we look at each other like brother and sister, right? So I understand where they're coming from, right? So that's really that. So we also see as they're talking to their grandmother Oscarine. So the family has a lot of different like a nail shop, daycare, event spaces. They have all that kind of stuff down there in Houston, right? And so their grandmother Oscarine has this big stretch of land that the girls said that their papa left to them, and they're talking to their grandmother about her giving it to them so that way they can go and develop it and make money from it instead of it just sitting there and nothing happens with it, right? And so their grandmother was telling them what she wants to do with the land, and what she wants to do with the land is sell the land so that way she can pay off of all of her children's homes, right? Not the grandchildren, just her children. And I was like, I get it, right? I'm fine with I'm cool. I understand everybody's mindset, right? I understand grandma Oscarine's mindset of let's just sell the land so that way, we have the money to pay off my kids' homes, right? So that way those homes stay in the family even when we're gone. So I get that aspect, right? And I also get the aspect of the girls where it's like the land is just sitting here. You're paying taxes on it, and nothing is being done with this. So why not let us develop it and keep the money, keep it in the family, put businesses or put the businesses there, put homes there, do whatever we want to do there, so that way we can see a return on that investment, right? I do get that because my thing is when it comes to Grandma Oscar talking about selling the land, if she sells it, my only thing is who would you sell it to, right? Because I wouldn't want you to sell it to somebody outside of our community, right? Keep it within our community so that way we know that whatever happens in that area is black owned. I don't care how anybody feel about that. That's how I feel. Keep it in our community because you know, at this point, because there are certain spots in Houston where people are, gentrifying it, right? Let's just be real about the situation. So I would be remiss to say, if you sell it within our community, so that way the money stays in our community and it helps our people out, right? And I'm also fine with what the girls said. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. Let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feel? Like, do you think that they should, whatever they I know that with the girls, they'll respect whatever their grandmother says, but what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think that grandmother should sell, or do you think that she should give it to the girls? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, you guys, and we'll move forward. So next, you guys, we see Nicole. So Nicole is showing her client Solange a when I say bad house, you guys, that house was amazing. Oh my God, everything about that house, from the living room. Did we see the kitchen? Because I don't remember if we saw the kitchen, but from the living room to that master bedroom to that bathroom, that was where I fell in love at, you guys. I fell in love with the when you walked into the house, but I really fell in love with the living room. Then when I saw that bathroom, I was like, oh my God. It was amazing. So Solange is a surgeon down there in Houston, right? So shout out to the black surgeons. You guys love to see it. So Nicole told her that the house is going for 1.4 million. I was like, my God, that's a lot of money, right? But Solange's whole issue with that is that it took her an hour coming from work to get there. And I was like, ooh. And if you guys are not familiar with Houston, Houston has, oh God, Houston has the worst traffic. I still try to figure out like which city has the worst traffic because Dallas's traffic is bad and so is Houston's. The only problem that I have when I go to Houston is especially being on 45. 45 in Houston is always congested. It's always busy no matter what time of the day you go. I've been as early in the afternoon, I've been in late nights. Like, I've even been actually, so I've been to Houston many times, right? I've been in the morning, I've been in the afternoon, I've been at night, I've been late at night. Like, midnight and all that kind of stuff. And it's still heavy traffic down there. Same up here in Dallas, right? But the only problem that I have with Houston is people in Houston refuse, but they do up here too in Dallas. But they're even worse in Houston where they refuse to let people merge. And it just be like, my God, today, I'm just trying to get over so I can get off this exit. Like I'm not trying to miss the exit because missing an exit in Houston, it can cost you. It can cost you valuable time. But hey, it is what it is, right? But like I said, she's just worried about the traffic in Houston, and like I said, I don't blame her. I would feel the same way too, right? I would absolutely feel the same way. It's like, girl, the traffic in Houston is just terrible, 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 terrible. But the house is nice, nice, nice. So Solange says that she does want to put down an offer on the house, but doesn't want to she doesn't want the offer at 1.4. What I would say is, but well, actually, you guys don't know, but I am in the market of getting a house, but I'm not buying a house like one that's already built. I want one that I'm building one from the ground up. Because I would say what you always do want to. I've heard the negotiation process is that you do start high, so that way you can negotiate down. But I don't know if that works in with a home though. But hey, good luck to her. I hope that she finds her home, and that's really all that we got for that. So next up, we have Jermisha and Jaquita, right? So they are meeting up with Aunt Nikki and they're on the property. And when I tell you it's a big stretch of property, and like I said a few minutes ago, I get the idea of wanting to develop it. And you know what's so funny when I just thought about that? And I hope that this show doesn't go the same route of those other shows because I just thought about something when they said developing because that was what the premise was for Love and Marriage Huntsville. They were supposed to develop in black areas, and then that was the premise for Bell Collective. They were supposed to build up Ferris Street. My God, I just thought about that, and I'm hoping and praying that this show doesn't go the same route that Bell Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville have gone, right? Because what I'm going to say real quickly, and I'm just going to say this, and I don't know this to be true, but it was just giving me that vibe with Nicole and her husband Larry. Something has happened in that marriage, and I don't know what it is, but my spidey senses are kind of saying that there was some infidelity maybe on his part. That's where I'm getting, and I'm hoping that, oh God, I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm hoping that they've worked it out because that has been the downfall of, not the downfall, but that's where things shifted from with Love and Marriage Huntsville and with Bell Collective. Those Both of those shows were about helping, developing in black areas and building them up. Oh God, I hope that this is not the same recipe. My God, today I just thought about that, you guys. I didn't think about that until I was talking about it. But I did, looking at that property, like I said, I absolutely like what the girls want to do, build it up. But like I said, I'm also here for what the grandmother want to do. Because either way it goes, y'all have generational wealth no matter what. Because if you pay off the homes of the G1s, those homes stay in the family long after the G1s are gone, right? And even with this property, if you develop it and build on it, that property stays in the family even after the G1s, the G2s, the G3s, even after all of them are gone. I'm here for whatever. I'm all about, building up and doing things for us and our community. So I'm here for it, you guys. But Aunt Nikki said that she'll talk to, Grandma Oscarine about this. Now, we did talk about how much the property value is currently. So it is currently sitting at a property value of $865,000, you guys. So 865,000, but I believe they said that she spent $72,000 on it. So when you do the math, that's $793,000 right there, right? That so that's not really bad. Like you bought it for $72,000, but you it's worth $82,000. Now the only problem is with it currently is that the taxes that Grandma Oscarine has to pay, which is 32 about not 32, I think it was like $35,000 a year, and that's like a lot of freaking money. But that's that. So next we get to the photo shoot, you guys, and we see I see some issues with the family. And like I said, with this is a Carlos King production, and I'm hoping that this family doesn't fall into the same pattern as Bell Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? Because there are some issues. Like I said, I believe that there's something that they're not saying. They don't have to say it for me. I don't care. But there's something there with Nicole and Larry. There's also some issues there with Lakeisha, Nicole, and Monet. What it seems like to me is that Lakeisha feels like an outsider to her sisters, but she does feel close to her cousins, Jermisha and Jaquita. That's what I'll leave at that. So they did the photo shoot. Like I said, the attire was all black, and Chris did the photo shoot. From what we could see, the photos, I think they look good. I want to go check out their website. I want to go check out their website. But then we see as Nicole and Jermisha were talking to Chris about coming back into the office, right? And so he says that he'll come back in, but a contract has to be in place, right? So they said, "Cool, we got it." And that was that. That was that. Now, after that, we move over to a dinner that Jermisha, Jaquita, Nicole, and Lakeisha are at, right? And so we also found out that on top of them losing their grandfather, Lakeisha lost her mom. And I was like, oh, that is so sad. And I know exactly what she's going through. I've been through it. Look, I lost my grandmother in 2013, and then I lost my mom in 2017, right? So I absolutely know what she's going through. And you do feel alone because you see everybody else with their moms, and you just feel like, damn, like I don't have my mother anymore. So I definitely know what she's going through. And so you see what it is with Jamisha and Jaquita, they basically just want to sit down and just kind of figure out how to, make things good between Nicole and her sister, not well, Nicole, Lakeisha, and Monet. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that, you guys. So Nicole came over, and so they talked about the plan. Again, you guys can let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think would be the best? What do you guys think is the good thing to do, right? Do you guys think that they should keep the land in the family, or do you guys think that what grandma said is, right? Let's sell it and let's pay off her kids' homes, right? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, you guys. Now, look, Jaquita and Jermisha, they are goofy, but I can kind of see how Nicole felt because they were talking at one point, and then they just brought up, they meant it wasn't, it was kind of random how they brought it up, because they were joking with each other and they were like, oh, there's no wall here. And it was Jaquita who said that there's no wall here. And so Nicole was like, why do y'all mention a wall? And she was like, well, because, and then Jermisha says, because the wall, whenever you come around, that Lakeisha builds up a wall when it comes to you. And so Nicole felt a way about that. And she was like, you know what? I'm out, because I feel like y'all are making a mockery of our relationship. And I can't say I'm upset with it. I don't know if I think that they were making a mockery of it, or more so they were being, what it is with Jaquita. I think Jaquita was a little tipsy, a little drunk, and she was trying to have a funny moment, and it didn't land. And that's just where I think it is what happened. But you guys can definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. You guys subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications. You guys share the video, and until the next time, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.